Today, I am joined with what I would call an expert on everything Detroit Lions football. And today, me and Luke G are going to be talking about Lions 4th round selection, Amon-Ra St Brown, who I think is going to be the sleeper of this year's draft. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with Luke. He knows absolutely everything about the Lions. He live streams every day, Monday through Friday, and talks about the Lions for 1 to 2 hours. He is absolutely hilarious and wildly entertaining, but also super knowledgeable. So if you love the Lions, I highly recommend checking out his channel, and I will leave it in the first link in the description. And I also did a 2-hour live stream with him talking all things NFC North, so I will tag that as well. I'm about to hop in a Zoom call with him, so I'll catch you guys there. Before we get into the interview, I just want to apologize because the audio on my end isn't the best. I don't know what happened with the audio file, how it transferred over. It's still okay, but bear with me. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but it's still a banger. Luke, so glad to have you on the channel, but I want to get right into it. With all your knowledge of the Lions and following them so closely, is Amon-Ra St Brown a good fit for the Lions, and why?
You know, he's 100% a good fit for the Lions. And the reason that he's a good fit for the Lions is because you have to look at the way that the Lions are going to utilize him and deploy him. He literally reminds me of A.J. Brown. I see somebody who can do some things from the inside, the outside, and if you just look at the Rams, just look at how the Rams deployed their receiving core. A lot of their passes that they had went to the inside guys, you know, like the Cooper Kupps, the Robert Woods. And you look at the Lions and you talking about T.J. Hockenson and Quintez Cephas. Amon-Ra St Brown is one of those guys who wants it so bad. This is a guy who is in OTAs practicing catches from different angles on his back. Okay, like who is trying to target you on your back, but he wants him to know that he has options. He wants the quarterback to understand that at every step of the way, I am a target for you. I'm going to make myself available. When people think I'm covered, I'm going to be the reason that I'm not. And to me, that is why he's a perfect fit, because he falls in line with the attitude of the Lions and the mantra that they're going to push. Nobody believes in you. You are truly an underdog. Nobody respects you. This guy is a guy who was going round after round after round, undrafted, got upset, and instead of going to pout about it, he goes in his garage and do what? Catch passes, work on his craft. That is why he is a perfect fit. He's a leader by right of his actions, and he will be a outstanding player that I believe will open this whole entire thing up for the Lions offense.
Luke, I knew I had you on the channel for the reason, because I'm looking over my notes, and once you said the A.J. Brown comparison, I hadn't even thought of that, but that is honestly so perfect, because they have a similar frame. But I was also shocked because I had a very high grade on him coming in and was shocked when he fell all the way to the 3rd round. I think we kind of get wrapped up in numbers sometimes, because he ran a 4.51, and I've actually heard people call him slow, which is insane, but on the tape, he consistently gets behind the defense and makes big plays. And also his best year was a sophomore year. I feel like people get wrapped up in that. But I feel like he's so good and is going to be so good for the Lions for a few reasons. Amon-Ra St Brown, to me, has so much natural and technical ability. I've been watching him since high school. I don't know if you know this, but me and him have history. My very first video ever on YouTube was actually about JT Daniels and his high school. But Amon-Ra kind of took that video over because I was just in shock for how advanced his routes were as a high schooler. And in college, what I noticed from him is he was able to track the ball so well and so naturally. And Slavis could just throw it up. You would never guess he was 6'1". He just contorted his body, high pointed the ball with soft hands and just tucked it away. And I think that plays right into what you were saying, that he practices his craft. He practices those awkward, abnormal catches, because in the NFL, there's going to be a lot of situations. And we saw him so many times catch contested balls and also with 2 people on him. But also, the one thing I think he's such a good fit for the Lions is exactly what you're talking about. And I think me and you and a lot of people around the league know that the Lions are going to be a run-centric team next year. But when it comes around, when they do need to pass it, I feel like they're going to ask so much of him. Like you said, on the outside, on the inside, both sides of the ball. But where I think they're going to use him the best is put him and TJ Hockenson on the same side of the ball most of the time, especially when they do those play actions. I think their route combinations are going to gel so well together, because when the Chiefs had their most success last year, it's when Kelsey and Tyreek were on the same side together, because it caused so many problems on one side of the ball or one side of the defense. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying TJ and Amon-Ra are the next Kelsey and Tyreek, but the concept stays the same, and I think he's going to fit perfectly into this Lions system. So, next question for you. Can you think of another wide receiver who was a bigger sleeper than Amon-Ra St. Brown?
You know, when I go through this list, to me, another guy that I think was a bigger sleeper is a guy who ended up going to the Vikings. That's Amir Smith. I always botch his name. It's Amir Smith Marset. I hope I said it right. Out of Iowa, receiver, number 6. This dude, another guy, he got a lot of diva qualities to him in a way, but he's got swag to him. He wants the ball, does a lot of the similar things as much of a sleeper. However, the difference between him and the difference between Amon-Ra is Amon-Ra has the ability to set you up with deceptive route running. Now, don't get me wrong, Amir has the route running ability, but it's not like Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra finds openings where there should not be. And if you go through and you just look at when the ball needed to be thrown in the corner of an end zone or you needed a route, he knew how to set you up every single time. He knew how to put you in a position where it was going to take you out to play. And so when I look at in terms of sleepers, this is someone who I keep telling fantasy people, if you go out and you're doing your fantasy teams and you got a keeper league or not a keeper league, you want to pick this guy up because I think he's going to get those reps, and it's because of how they're going to utilize him in this offense.
Amir was actually a perfect person to bring up, but since when I was going through my draft analysis before the draft even started, since I had Amon-Ra as a first round prospect, and there was a lot of wide receivers that got taken in front of him that I think that he was a lot better than, he still is my biggest sleeper. But I loved what you mentioned because I think when we watch games, we see the back end of the plays. We see him open downfield, we see it, but his route running is so deceptive because what he does is what he does with his feet to make the corner turn his hips, because his in-breaking routes, his out-breaking routes, and his deep routes all look so similar, and that's one of the major reasons I had him as a first-round talent. And now I just can't stop thinking about the A.J. Brown thing because that is absolutely perfect. If you think about what the Titans are doing with Mike Vrabel, very similar coach to Dan Campbell, and I think A.J. Brown plays perfectly into that system. He's I think you're spot on with that comparison. I just can't stop thinking about that. But I love his routes because everything looks the exact same. And even when he does get open deep, I think it is because he's such a good route runner with the intermediate routes that he's able to expose, get the corner to turn his hips, and just beat him over the top. So that is just another example of why I love the Lions draft so much. Maybe they didn't make the biggest splash picks like the Bears trading up to get Justin Fields or the big flashy name players, but the Lions, they did the best draft because they did exactly what was best for them. They got the best tackle in Penny Sewell. They beefed up the defensive line, and we both know they were eventually going to take a receiver in the draft, but I don't think they ever thought they were going to be able to land a guy like this. But Luke, it was so great having you on the channel. I really enjoyed our conversation. You know, you are always welcome to come on the channel anytime. I already told everyone about your channel and hope they all check you out. But thank you so much for coming on. It was really a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. When you're talking football, this is community. This is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be people with different views and people with same views who can enjoy just talking about these teams and the joy of seeing it come together. So salute to you. I can't wait till you hit 3,000 because you're well off on your way. And then when you get to 3,000, we trying to talk about the 100,000 mark. And then long before that, we'll be able to just look up and see you in the million. And then I can do the prototypical fan thing and go, I know that guy. So that's what we want to do, man. But I appreciate you so much for having me on to talk some football in general, man. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Really
awesome. So great having you on. Thank you guys so much.
I'm back after my interview with Luke, and what an awesome guy. I was so glad to have that conversation with him, and he was very professional on this live stream. Over on his channel, he will be 100% uncensored. I just love everything. He had me dying through our whole 2-hour live stream that we did. Thank you guys so much for checking out Luke's channel if you already did. And it's not a Lions channel where they just praise everything the Lions do, or they just don't bash the Lions 24/7. He is very knowledgeable about the game. He keeps things super objective, so definitely go check his channel out. Thank you guys so much much for watching. Make sure to like the video if you liked it. Make sure to comment down below what you think about Amon-Ra St Brown and what you think the biggest sleeper wide receiver in this year's draft is. And as always, if you enjoy daily sports content, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a ton of fun to do, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.